My name is Elijah Alexander, and this is my story. To fully understand my testimony and where God has taken me, you have to understand my parents' journey. I'm telling you this so that you don't blame them for their actions or their lack of actions. They've had a tough childhood too. My father was 10 when his older brother of 16 passed away from cancer. My father grew up with an ill-tempered father. When my father handed him the wrong wrench, the wrench was thrown at his head, and he was told he was useless. My father was also told on several occasions that the wrong son had passed away. My mother, as a child, was abused. When she told her parents, she was told to keep quiet because they are a church-going family, and those things remain unsaid because it would look bad on their image. Now that you understand them, so begins my journey. My mother and father got a divorce when I was 1. When I was 3 or 4, my mom married her high school sweetheart. I was told to call him Dad. So when I visited my real dad every other weekend, I told him DJ was my dad and he wasn't. It definitely kept me from having a relationship with my dad. I hated my dad for a long time because he favored my brother. When I was 7, I asked Jesus into my heart. In 4th grade, my mom and stepdad got divorced, and that was when my life was flipped upside down. My mom started drinking. This was a huge change. I was never exposed to alcohol before. My mom stopped making dinner and would instead go to the bar that night. My sister, who always comforted me and gave me advice, moved out 2 weeks after she graduated from high school. I tried to stay strong, but it was all too much. I fell into a deep depression. I missed school on a regular basis because I hated my life. I wanted to die. I didn't feel safe in my house. My mother never sat me down and explained to me what was going on. She just picked up the bottle. I hated her for it. She didn't fight for me. I tried to commit suicide several times, but I never followed through. Every time I did get the suicide note written, I planned to stab myself in the heart. I had the blade against my heart, ready to stab myself. I also tried to hang myself on several occasions, but something stopped me every time. God reminded me of those who would miss me. My father, my old mother, my brother, my sister, my grandmothers, and my great-grandmother. So instead, I beat my head against the wall, and then I started going to counseling a few weeks after that. But it didn't help at all because I could not properly express the hurt that I was going through. What did help was a CD my sister gave me. It was by Matthew West. Ironically, it was titled Happy. When I listened to it when I was depressed. During this time, I also became aware of the many mental diseases that my mother had suffered from. As a result, she loses track of time and space. So remembering to pay the bills, make dinner, or that we plan to go to the store became a difficult task. These things prevent her from holding a job. It's hard to explain the relationship I have with my mother, but I'll do my best. She is the best, worst mom out there. My role in the house is flipped. I have to tell her when to go shopping and what to get. Otherwise, she'll go, and she'll spend it on things that we do not need. I have to make sure that the bills are paid, or she won't pay them. I was mad at God for a long time because why would he do this to me? I stopped going to church because I was tired of sitting alone and explained to everybody where my family was. I was embarrassed by my mom and what she is. That's why I've never told anyone this. My junior year, I started to doubt my faith. I started to see the Bible as a piece of fiction. I hated that feeling because I knew the Bible was true, but something kept putting doubt in my heart. The August going into my senior year, I felt drawn to this church called Oak Bridge. I prayed that God would give me a sign to go. And that week I was invited by Alex Diekman and then later by Patty Mannion. Since attending Oak Bridge, my life has changed. I used to drink and party to find happiness. Earlier this summer, I went to a party. I had a little bit to drink. It felt pointless. It isn't fun anymore because I filled my life with God and God filled my life with happiness. True happiness. I haven't been this happy since 3rd grade. God has done so much for me. One night I was praying that God would calm my fears and worries about paying for college. Later that week, I received scholarship money in the tune of $34,000. In September, my great-grandmother passed away. I've started to see my obstacles as blessings. Without my troubles, I would not go to God because I wouldn't have a perfect life. I wouldn't need Him. My troubles push me closer to God, and my faith grows as a result. So I thank God for me being sued. I thank Him that I'm weak. I thank Him that I'm insecure. I thank Him I can't always love myself. And I thank Him that I have a messed up family. I thank God for my mom's 3 divorces. It made me not want to get divorced. These 3 men gave me examples of how not to act. For a man's character is not judged in the good times, but in the rough. I hope I can learn from them and be a better husband and father one day, like my Father in heaven. This brings me to my life verse, Job 1:21. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. So, in other words, thank you, God, for the good times, and thank you for the bad. Because if there are only good times, I wouldn't need you. This is my story.